What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Level Up with Gal. I'm your host, of course, Gal Pereno. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. I'm so excited to dive in with you. If you are returning, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I'm so proud of you for continue to level up in your life in everything and everything that you do. If you are brand new and this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so proud of you for wanting to develop in your own life, in your personal development journey, and there is no right or wrong time when to start your freaking journey. So if you are here, you're meant to be here, and I appreciate you so much. Let's dive in. Today we're going to talk about why it's important to be mindful of our environment. What I mean by that is people, the things we do, the places we go to often. Okay? It all is a combination and affects us in a good way or a bad way. How do you know if something is affecting you in a good way versus in a bad way? So for example, let's talk about maybe your group of friends. Are they influencing you to do good things or bad things? Are they influencing you and being supportive and helping you level up in your life? Do you want to share good things that happens in your life with these people? If you don't, then it's time to revisit the people you're spending a lot of your time with. Because friends, family, these people that are really close in your life, in your circle, maybe you have multiple circles, that's okay too. You want to spend time with people that are going to help lift you. Okay? Are going to be people that when you have something really exciting, you want to share with them because you know, oh my gosh, they have your back, they're excited, right? Like, you know, you have certain friends where you just can't wait to share something super exciting with them. Those are the people you want to spend more time with. Those are the environments as well that you want to be around. We all know what it's like, right? To be around negative people and negative energy and negative environment. And just in case you haven't experienced it, which I'm sure you have, I'm going to give you a couple examples. Have you been with some people or at a job where immediately when you're there around these people or at this job, this environment, you feel low? You feel low, you feel sad, annoyed, maybe a little frustrated, a little irritable, and you don't want to be there. You can't wait until that event ends so you can go home. Or you can't wait until your day at work is over because you don't want to be there. Maybe you don't want to be there because of a boss. Maybe you don't want to be there because of the job. Maybe you don't want to be there because you don't like your coworkers. Maybe you don't want to be at this friend get together because you don't like a lot of them, okay? If you're feeling that way, those are environments that are lower energy and they're not helping you. And instead, it's actually affecting your energy and bringing you down. You heard the good old saying, right? Having like one bad seed brings down a whole group. Well, that's why it's so important to be around people who are going to lift you up. And it doesn't mean they have to always be like oozing out of, of inspiration and oozing out of positivity. We all get a choice every day if we want to show up positive or not. But at the same time, remember, no matter how positive someone is or are, they're going to have bad days too. And sometimes those bad days bring people down. But the difference between just having a bad day and being around a bad, low energy person, let's say, is that when someone who has a bad day, it's one bad day, one bad moment, and they're choosing to show up with positivity regardless of what's going on in their life, versus being around people who are more low energy, who may play more the victim card, like, oh, everyone's against me, life isn't fair, or of course, more bad stuff is going to happen because a bunch of bad stuff has already been happening. Mindset. If you keep thinking bad crap is going to happen to you, bad stuff is going to happen to you. If you realize that we're having a human experience here, and sometimes we're going to have bad moments, bad days, bad experiences. But you know what? We're going to learn from it. We're going to move on. We're going to grow from it. And we're still choosing to show up with a good intention, coming from a place of like an open heart and knowing that every day is not going to be a perfect day. And that is just the truth. And that's reality. If every day could be amazing, that'll be perfect. That'll be so great. But then what lessons will we learn if we're always having perfect things going on, perfect things happening, everything going right? There's no such thing as perfect anyways, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. So start to look at your life and your circle of friends, right? Like, do these people help me feel good? Do these people, when I'm around them, do they lift me up? Do I lift them up? Do I want to spend more time with them? If not, it is okay. You got to have the awareness to know the situations you're putting yourself into, the people you're spending the most time with. And if you start to realize as you're listening to this that you have some group of friends that aren't the best for you, you don't have to have this serious conversation and tell them. Just slowly spend less time with them. And it's okay to protect your energy and have boundaries and protect your energy, right? Sometimes, a lot of times, and I have in the past, felt guilty for wanting to protect my own energy, or guilty for feeling a certain way or feeling the way I do. But I'm here to tell you that you have the right to feel the way you do at any time. It doesn't necessarily mean that the way you feel is always going to be right. It doesn't mean you're right. It just means that you're allowed to feel the way you do. You have to remember that when we're in situations where we are operating from a place of our own experiences, our view of the world, our perspective of the world, and our experiences and lessons that's happened in our lives. That's why it's so cool to meet so many different kind of people, to listen to them, to hear their story, their journey, because if you went through the same thing as someone right next to you, the experience is going to be different. And why and how? Because you're a different person than the next person, and their childhood life experiences, your childhood life experiences, and during your teenager years and as an adult, it's all gonna have different experiences. So for example, if you grew up in a divorced home and your friend did as well, right? Those experiences are still going to be very, very different because you both had different experiences with a similar situation. Okay? So let's talk about another example. Your environment. Let's say your work environment. You're not a huge fan of where you're going to work, and it brings you down. If that's how you feel, then it's time to take effort to look for something else, whether it's remote, hybrid schedule, or somewhere where you still have to go in. Let's say you work in an industry where you have to go into work, okay? Nothing's wrong with that. But if it is bringing you down, you're not able to elevate anymore, maybe you want to, and you're kind of at a dead end. I'm using that example because that's happened to me in one of my past positions. It's just, I love change, right? Change is scary, but also love it. And I wanted to continue to move up. But I got to a point where it just was stagnant. And I remember having this conversation with a previous boss, like, this is pretty much going to be as far as you're going to get here. And I appreciate the honesty, but then I also, it helped me realize that I need to have a serious conversation with myself. Do I want to stay here, or is it time for me to look for something else? If I stay here, would I be happy, a year or 2 years down the line? Or am I actually holding myself back from other possible opportunities? So I looked for a new opportunity, but also new opportunity presented itself to me, because I set that intention that, you know what, I am ready for something different and I'm open to it. So when you open up your heart and your mind and your space for new things to come in, you would be amazed the opportunities that pop up for you. And it doesn't always happen that quickly in that way, but you also have to take action, right? 1, decide that you want to make change. 2, how are you going to get there? What steps do you need to take so you can affect change in your life, right? Like, start applying for jobs. Ask other people if they know of any recruiters or anyone who's looking for someone, right? Network. Put yourself out there. And this is just an example. But pay attention to your work environment. And sometimes it just means you have one bad boss and it's just not working out for you. Maybe you can move to another department and switch managers, right? Or maybe it's time for you to just leave that company altogether. Maybe you don't see eye to eye with their values anymore, and you outgrown that position or that company. Many things can pop up for you. But there's just a couple examples to help you along your way. If you're in a relationship with someone, right, a significant other, start to pay attention, all right? Because you spend the most time with each other. Pay attention to each other's energy. Does it still make you happy? Does it not? Can you work on it? Do you want to? Do you not? Is this partner still, in alignment with you? Are you still in alignment with them? Okay? Do they lift you up? All the same kind of questions when you're with them. Do they lift you up? Do they help you? Do they challenge you? Do they support you in your life? It's the same thing with friends, right? Challenge you, support you. Are they there for you? Same thing will work. How we do one thing is how we do everything. That is like the best quote saying. One of my mentors told me, I don't even know who originally said it, but I'll never forget it when I heard that, because I truly believe that. When you start to work on yourself, your personal development journey, it overflows into everything else that you do, because how you're doing one thing and how you operate in your life is literally how you're going to operate in another section of your life, in another area of your life. So it's really important to pay attention to your environment, the situations, the people you're around, and anything that you do, places that you go. Are you influenced by certain things? Is it actually helping you, hurting you? Do you have the confidence to say no to things that aren't going to be good for you? Or do you not, right? So now is the time to pay attention, and pay attention too when you meet new people. Do they have good energy? Would you want to spend more time with this person? Well, or is this conversation that you're having with them at the moment maybe actually teaching you something? So the reason why I bring that into this conversation, because I love meeting new people and getting to know them, hearing their story. It's so much fun to me, because everyone has different experiences and everyone has a different story. That's the most what's the word I'm looking for? It's just so fun, and it's so valuable to be a listening ear to someone. So yesterday I was at an event, and there was a couple of people I've seen before, but I've actually never officially met them or knew much about them. So it's just starting to have conversations with them, and I started to learn so much about them, and it's just really fun to hear other people's perspective and their stories. And you don't always have to agree with how they see the world, but we can always agree to disagree. And if we listen, we can start to actually see a different perspective from their view and their eyes, and what they see in their life, or how they've gotten to where they are because of experiences and certain things that they've gone through in life. So just wanted to share that as well. But it's also still, you can use the same method when maybe you have social anxiety, right? When you're in a big group, and start to pay attention to the energy. I mean, there's energy happening, exchanging without any verbal communication. You know how you walk into the room and you can feel if the energy shifted, may feel cold, people are angry, frustrated, or you walk into a room man, it feels happier, it feels great, right? Same thing. Pay attention when you are, let's say, going to a social event, at who do I want to talk to? Oh, do I want to conversate with anybody? Start to pay attention when you're close to them, how you feel. If you don't feel great, or you start to feel off, that's a sign right there. Your body, it will never lie to you. Your body is telling you, hey, alert, pay attention. A lot of times we ignore it. Just and our brain takes over, right? But pay attention to the way people make you feel energetically when you are around them. It could be people you know, people you just met, a restaurant that you're at, or that you normally go to, or a new one. If you even pay attention to how a waiter or waitress feels, how they make you feel, that's all energy being exchanged back and forth. So I hope you found this episode helpful. Start to pay attention to your surroundings, the people around you, your environment, work environment, friends, significant others, all that jazz, and start to spend more time with people who are for you, supportive, who love you, you love them. It's an amazing thing when you spend time, when you have conversation with people where there's energy exchanges happening. And it's this dance of this energy, in a circle, right? Going back and forth, back and forth. It's amazing. It feels good. And you feel like you can talk to this person or people forever. Those are the conversations that you want to continue to have, where you can be your true authentic self with them. You can share what's coming from the heart, how you feel. They're supportive. They're not going to argue with you, even if they agree with you. Those are the environments you want to spend the most time with. If not all the time, if you can, then those are the environments that are going to help you grow the most and let you be who your true authentic self is and let you come through and shine. So I'll catch you in the next episode. If you're interested in working with me or want to know more, check out my website, www.galpereno.com. Send me a message if there's any topics that you want me to cover, or if you want to be a guest on the show, you want to collaborate, reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. If you found this episode helpful as well, if there's any feedback or any stories that you want to share, I would love to hear them. Feel free to email me at lifecoach@galpereno.com or send me a message on my website and I will reach back out to you as soon as I can. Have a great rest of your day and I will catch you in the next episode. I love you so much and I appreciate every single one of you and I'll see you soon.